Hey everybody. So what I want to do right now is I want to go over 5 examples from the energy, power, and Ohm's law Google form that was on Google Classroom. I feel like these 5 or 3 of these might have been a little bit confusing, so I just want to clarify some things to help you answer these types of questions on the Google form. So let's look at the first one here. So the first one, it says, what is the current when a 100-watt lamp is connected to 120 volts? So let's identify what information is given to me. I'm given, it says 100 watts, and watts measures power. I am given 120 volts, and volts measures voltage. And then I'm asked to find the current, and current is I. Alright, so I've got P, I've got V, I want to find I, so I'm going to use P equals I times V, where P is 100, I is unknown, and V is 120. So to get I by itself, you divide 120 to the other side, so I got 100 divided by 120 equals I. And when I type that into the calculator, or maybe you could do it in your head, 100 divided by 120 gives you 0.833 repeating amps of current. The next one kind of plays off of that previous question. It says that the lamp from the previous question is on for 30 minutes. How much energy was used? And then it says answer in watts times seconds or joules. So I know in the video it mentioned that electrical energy is typically measured in kilowatt hours, and that is true. You can also measure energy in joules or watts times seconds. So I'm going to show you here how we're going to measure in watts times seconds. So first of all, I got to identify that 30 minutes is referring to time. And then it's asking me how much energy was used, so that means I'm solving for E. So the only equation that was given to you in the notes regarding E was energy equals power times time. Okay. So since I'm measuring in watts times seconds, I need to convert this time here from minutes to seconds. So that's an easy conversion. I'll start with what's given to me, 30 minutes. Maybe I'll remember this from chemistry. So 30 minutes, so 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So all I do is multiply 30 times 60 and I get 1800. So there are 1800 seconds in 30 minutes. So time is actually, I'll write that up here, time is 1800 seconds. I'm solving for energy like we mentioned up a second ago, and from the previous question I need P, which was 100 watts. Okay, so if energy equals P times T, then energy equals 100 times 1800, and I get an energy of 180,000 watts times seconds. So why watts times seconds? Well, think of it this way. If my equation is power times time, the unit for power is watts. The unit for time is seconds. So when I multiply power times time, I'm multiplying watts times seconds, which is watts times seconds. Alright, so let's look at the next one here. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Oops, that didn't work. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next one here. It says, what is the voltage across the 75 ohm circuit that draws 1 amp of current. So let's identify some of the information that is given to us. I'm given 75 ohms, and ohms measures resistance. It tells me I've got 1 amp of current, so that is telling me I. And then I want to know what is the voltage. So voltage is V, my unknown. So V, R, and I. So V equals I times R is Ohm's law, which you saw in the video. Now I'm just going to plug in the information that I know. V is unknown, I is 1, and R is 75. So this is an easy one. 75 times 1 is just 75 volts. Looking in the next one here, it says what is the power needed from the previous question. So we need to take that information and solve for power, which is P. Alright, so power can be calculated with energy and time. Well, I didn't have that in the previous question. It can also be calculated with current and voltage. P equals I times V. Okay, so P is unknown from the previous question. I was 1. Whoops. And V we determined to be 75. So 1 times 75 is 75. And power is measured in watts. Let's see here. Number 13 says if the circuit from number 11 and 12 was on for 50 minutes, how much energy was consumed in kilowatt hours? Alright, so now I'm asked to find energy, which is still E, but I need to find it in kilowatt hours. So now it's specifying that this is what your unit needs to be in, which is the same calculation, except our units need to be slightly different. So here's how we do it. It gives us some information here, 50 minutes. 50 minutes is time. Now, if my unit is measured in kilowatt hours, then that means that my time also has to be in hours. So how do you convert 50 minutes to hours? Well, 50 minutes, oops. All right, remember chemistry, T-charts. 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. So 50 divided by 60 is 0.833 repeating hours. So there's my time in hours. Our power needs to be in kilowatts, and that's another easy one. Our power was 75 watts. So how do you convert watts to kilowatts? Well, 1 kilowatt is 1,000 watts. So 75 divided by 1,000 is 0.075 kilowatts. So now I've got my power in kilowatts, I've got my time in hours. Now I simply just calculate energy equals power times time. So my power is 0.75, oh, excuse me, 0.075, and my time was 0.833. When I multiply those two together, I get 0.62 kilowatt hours as my answer. So hopefully this helped answer any questions that you may have regarding the Google form. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out via email or Google Classroom.